So back on housing, we're in an interesting environment when it comes to buying a house. It remains over 50% more expensive to buy a house than to rent.
Yep.
Interest rates are high on 30-year fixed loans. We kind of want to take a snapshot of where we're at here today with new data from Redfin and Zillow and CoreLogic. And CoreLogic is coming out and saying that annual prices for homes climbed 5.5% over the last year. So this is relative to rents. Rents were basically flat last year across the nation. To buy a home, the price of homes are up 5.5%. And then the interest rate is now higher also. So it's a double impact. The price and the interest are both up. That's why so many people want to rent right now. The cost of home ownership is more expensive than ever. And there's not a lot that can be done about this from a government standpoint and from a private enterprise standpoint. There's some natural restrictions to building homes. The cost to build is more expensive now. We've had this inflation that's happened for several years, and now that's driven up the cost. So anything you build today is going to be more expensive than it was a year ago and 2 years ago. So the government kind of has this double-edged sword where they're trying to keep interest rates high to keep inflation down. Those high interest rates make buying a home even more expensive.
If you're buying a home, you really want it. You got to be willing to stick with a high interest rate for a while.
Yeah, a solution to the high interest rate environment and the price of homes being really expensive is, according to the article, to make it possible to buy a home, buyers are targeting less expensive and less competitive metros, and some millennial and Gen Z home buyers are resorting to home hacking, which refers to renting all or part of your home for extra cash. Often they're also putting in their funds together and buying a home outright. So I think we should do that, guys.
My brother lives in my basement. Yes.
Yeah, that's house hacking.
Because the idea was he was going to save for his own home.
What's going on with that?
Yeah. He's made himself very comfortable.
So since January 2020, the typical U.S. home has nearly doubled in price.
Wow.
Up 97% to $2,188. And that assumes a 10% down payment. Home values have risen 42% over that time, but the cost to buy the home is basically double because interest rates were 3.5%. Now they're approaching 7%. So you have to put that in context. In 4 years, the cost to buy a home is double the cost that it was 4 years ago. So when I look at that, we can complain about it, and it's unfortunate if you don't currently own a home because you come in this environment. But I also believe that real estate is a scarce asset, and there will be more people who want to buy homes going forward that will buy these homes at these prices, especially as interest rates go down. There's people who are waiting because some people are deciding to rent forever. Some people, once they get a family, they're going to buy a home. We know that there's a certain percentage of them. And if interest rates go down, people are going to just come in and buy those homes that they haven't been able to afford at 6.5% when they come back down to 5%. So real estate is something that continues to go up going forward, whether that be an apartment building, whether that be a home. The one exception might be these offices that are getting vacated because of work from home.